Hi there, it's Colin from Rockfiend Publications Scotland. We're here in Bannermans with Gene from Bullets and Octane.
Right.
How are you doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, jet lag's wearing off. I think I know my name still, and that's okay.
When did you arrive in Edinburgh?
Just got here a few hours ago, but we got here from Heathrow yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So did you travel up bus, train, drive?
The airplane thing.
Right, okay.
A lot of water between LA and here. So we did that.
I meant from Heathrow.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, we rented travel. We rented some good. But we have an American driving, so there's not much rest on the travel because you're going too close, curb, truck. You're like, I'll just close my eyes. Better off if you don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So you're here in Edinburgh, first night of the British tour. How do you feel Edinburgh's going? Have you been out and had a little look around the sights today?
No, but the best, weird for me, and to answer your question maybe kind of strangely or not what you're asking, but very photographic memory of strange things, mainly of like this apartment thing above the venue.
Yes.
I can close my eyes and tell you the stairs of how to get to where I'm going, the smells, the scents, how the soft couch was, or the bed was, or the scent of the hallway, anything. I couldn't tell you my social security number to save my life. That's why I thank God I have people that do some certain things for me. But it's exactly how you remember it. Yeah. And the way my brain works is that walking back into the same place again, it's like as if I was here yesterday, type of thing.
Yeah. Now you've played various places in Scotland. You've done the Dreadnought and Bathgate. Have you played Glasgow?
I think so. I mean, you know more about me than I.
Yeah, I had a Google today, but I couldn't find any dates for Glasgow. I knew that you had done the Dreadnought and Bathgate. Really good venue.
Yeah. I know we've played there. We had a bus driver once that lived there, and we got to stay there, and he had this has nothing to do with the answer to your question really, but so this will be a fun one. But he had a 3-level place that he lived at, and I remember that he had, like a glass kind of sunroof, natural lighting. Yeah. And he had a room bigger than this that just had a tub in the middle. You took a shower in, and I remember. You don't think about your surroundings of security when showering, of like a couple walls, and you were just used to it, right? Yeah. So we don't think like this is secure, but when you're in an open room with just like water coming from a ceiling, and it's about this big, and you're in the middle of it, kind of like, man, there's cameras, I know someone's watching this shit, watch thoroughly, or don't, who knows? But yeah, so I have weird memories of the Glasgow thing. This is Glasgow. Cool.
So you're over here promoting, is it a new album that you've got coming out? I know that you've got a single out, I've seen it on your Instagram.
Right.
Is it an album due, or is it already been released?
No, so it hasn't been released yet. Like the band's been around about 20 years. Yeah,
20-year anniversary.
Yeah, it's been a moment doing like a bunch of different stuff, some acting and some solo stuff and different things. Just, music business has changed, so just trying to figure out what's going on, how it works, where am I as a human being and things. And a couple marriages and stuff in between, things like that. So this time around it was kind of an accidental thing. I write and record and play all the instruments on the albums and stuff. It's my baby, it's my creation.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so I'm mainly a drummer, but coming out to LA and everything, I realized that if you are someone who is just a guy who could be replaced, or you're at the hub of the singer who could get married or find drugs or find something else, you're kind of screwed. So, and you can't take really much with you. So I had to figure out a way to be the dude. So I had to learn how to write songs, learn how to sing, and learn how to do stuff, and make a lot of albums and songs and things.
That's excellent.
So this one was kind of an accident. I sent it to one of my buddies who I started the band with a while back, and I go, hey man, I got some ideas for some songs. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Maybe license them out for film and TV. Take a look, and he was like, man, it's really good. He's usually hard on me, pretty hard about shit. That's no good. He's like, it's pretty good. I'm like, yeah, okay. Want to make a record? All right. So it's very organic, and to answer this more, I guess, thoroughly, but what was really exciting for me, if you might ask, like what would be different about this album than others, or whatever you might have, is that if you go back in your phone or whatever with a bunch of ideas that you might have, like, oh, I got this cool riff. Like you usually record one little idea in your phone. I'd go back and listen to hundreds of them, and go, let's just go back, I have time, waiting in my car for something, let me just listen back to my ideas and see if it's anything worth a fuck for whatever project I'm doing or whatever I'm writing for. And I realized that when you go back, you usually do push record on your phone or something and go, you play your one idea, your one thing you like, but you might not have necessarily captured the essence of what that vibe was you were trying to capture. And I would go back sometimes and listen to hundreds of ideas and go, what the fuck? Like, what was I doing here? Or why was I doing this? And I realized, like, okay, so I might have been into a vibe of something, some sort of like a ZZ Top song or a Muse song or you name it, whatever the hell I got influenced by, I didn't necessarily capture the whole thing. So when I went back to listen to it months later, I'm not in the same headspace, so that idea might not sound as good. So I realized, like, okay, so what if I were to put the click track on, I have the one idea I'll work off of, and then I'm going to go ahead and write a 3-minute song around it. So I got the one idea, I'll start with that, the one I liked, and then I'll write a song and just make up whatever I want to on the spot, like a fluent idea in that moment. Okay. So I got one cool idea and then go, let's just go to B, let's put a break here. Let's go here, and it was on the spot, like literally make it up. Whatever's going on through that stream of consciousness will be what I make up, so I can listen back to the reference. Now that's what I sent to my guy that I record with, and I was thinking, what if I were to just make them songs? So instead of like taking parts of this song needs a bridge, or this song needs an outro, or an intro, or the verses needs to be revised, whatever the fuck came out of me in the moment of strumming through a fucking thing, that's what I would turn into this new Bullets album that we're doing. So whatever the fuck happened in that actual moment, no thought out, overthought, no changing of stuff. And I was like, this is kind of cool. Let's just see if I can make that work. Because I wasn't thinking of doing another Bullets album. I just was like, I'm going to do my solo shit, do some acting and stuff in LA and figure it out. And so the fact that it actually turned out pretty neat, and I didn't care, it was done. Like, I wasn't doing more Bullets shit. So I'm just going to, whatever comes out, lyrically, and I'll play bass on it, and I'll do wrong notes, and I'm gonna fuck it up a bit, and like do some shit that, because they always want to push stop, and I'm like, whatever you hear. And drums is my main instrument, so it'll be a thing where it's like, I'm gonna do my thing, just don't stop, and I'll rewrite some stuff as I'm recording, and I'll rewrite it on the spot. And it kind of feels neat to be in that moment of like, that's why we fell in love with what we do. Like when you're a kid and you get on a bicycle, long answer, but when you're getting on a bicycle, when you're a kid, you don't need to do anything other than the enjoyment of doing that. Same as playing a show, having a few drinks, like what time do we play? Play in 2 hours. Let's go have a drink. Like, why do we have to self-medicate? Why do we have to dumb down the natural thing that we loved of why we did? The gift of why you have it isn't to overthink it or to overanalyze it, but to just kind of let it roll. That's your gift. So just...
It's a really good way to record.
It's fun.
Is it ready?
Oh yeah. And I already have another album recorded in my like,
So when are we going to hear, this album?
We have plans, some things we're working on. It's not really necessarily concrete. Things are different as they used to be, where it isn't just label, booking agent.
How do you feel the record business has changed, or the music business, should I say? You've been here 20 years, so I remember 20 years I was working in record stores, and reps were coming in, promoting, where now there's no one. Everything's just the band themselves, they've got to do everything. So do you feel it's changed for the better or for the worse? I know it must have been very difficult back then, just to say blank checks, here we go, have what you want, but it doesn't necessarily make you famous.
I'll answer with like more of a personal side of it. I guess most of this stuff goes. Is it really has come to, I had a few years of kicking and screaming and old man grunting about the way things changed. But the blessing and the silver lining, I guess, of everything that happened for me personally was that it made me re-fall in love with why I do it. And it really was a blessing, like, of a situation where, and it sounds like some interview bullshit or something, right? But it was a thing where there was really nothing left but to do it because I have to do it. Like, I suck at everything. I never went to school. I'm a piece of shit in the regular world. I really is. Like, I can't do anything.
Music's your life.
I can't focus on anything. It's kind of like scary, man, because everything's, in earlier days, my career would have been somewhere to add up with my age, to add up with my fucking weird mentality of how I think. musically it's getting better to where you and I could be sitting in this room right now, which is much like my room back home, and there's a ceiling fan, right? Clicking away, and my brain goes, you know, not trying to, it'll go, it's like 2:47, Paradise City comes in, right? And I'm already like a fucking depressed, weird person, and you know, usually crying and fucking weird shit and freaking out, and I'm like, fuck that, there's no way that fucking is right. I'll start Paradise City, just play, and it's slow, it wasn't to a click. I know the song is already slower, but I'm saying like to the normal tempo song, it's already slower. And the part I had in my head, the drum part, I knew the exact part my brain said, you know, note to self, it'll tell me, like alerts go off, red flag, just so you know, this is the tempo. I went to that part of the song, and then there's 5 seconds of that specific part of the song, subconsciously my brain told me was the tempo. And I just instantly started tearing because I'm just like, man, what a wasted gift, you know? Like my career's gone to shit, and here my brain knew that click was 5 seconds of the song, and my brain tells me. I couldn't tell you my phone number, you know, where I live.
But the thing is that's obviously how you were made. Music, and it's in your brain. It's like myself. I done, you know, nothing educational, but music's my life. You know, like
so
that's why we want to do this. We're trying to keep rock alive and keep it going where it should be.
And that's what I was getting at to answer your question, was that I realized that, okay, so there's no more fame, there's no more money, we're dead, we're fucked, right? But then when I realized that I have to keep doing this type of thing, it made me, the bigger picture, the bigger blessing of the music business falling apart for me was that it made me realize that I'm going to have to do this regardless. Like, it's the only thing, my marriages fall apart, my whole life falls apart, everything goes to fuck, it really does. And because I'm fucking out there a little bit, and the only thing that makes sense is when it works. My songs are my kids. If you're standing there with your wife washing dishes, looking at your back window of the backyard, watching your kids play, and you look out together and nudge each other and go, you know, it's a marriage, things are tough, but once in a while you watch your kids and you go, it's cool, you know, look at them do their thing. And you have those little bitty moments. And so once in a while in the studio or on stage, I have those moments where I go, you know, the goosebumps stand up, your hair stand up, and I go, I'm alive, you know, like, I'm not making any money from it, there's no fame from it anymore, but I can't stop because of that moment. That's the moments where I go, my life's worth living. Other than that, I'm ready to go, you know, take me out, I'm fucking done, I'm tired, I'm fucking over shit, I'm over pain, I'm over shit, I'm good to go. So once in a while when those things happen musically, that's when I go, I'm glad things fell apart, because I'm not clouded by the, you know, any type of bullshit fame or any kind of money that did happen. I only have the fact that when those things happen, like, I just wrote something better than what I've written 10 years ago, or 5, or the last album. Like, this song is better than anything I did before. What a moment. Like, that's all you have left, and that's when you know you're doing it for the right reasons. Take away all the wrong reasons, money, fame, only reasons are because it's great, and because you're excited.
Love of music.
Love of music.
Totally.
So that's...
Are you going to be playing any new material tonight that, you know, people have not heard yet?
Yeah, I mean, the stuff, the album that hasn't been out, we're playing a decent handful from that, playing some of the old stuff, the new stuff, and
So you're saying that you play bass, drums, guitar, everything on there. The rest of the band, are they just hired guns?
No.
They are the band.
Yeah, they're a band. I mean, it's a different dynamic. I think they understand, and I'm completely all about, like, if someone's got great melodies, great ideas, a great drum part, a great guitar part, whatever you have, like, you know, please. It's not I'm older now, the ego isn't the same as it was. It's not about the control in that way, but I think they also have a certain type of mutual respect of, they know why Bullets has a certain specific sound. And even I didn't understand that. And the longer answer, I guess, would be that Page Hamilton from Helmet, I remember Helmet from the 90s, he produced our RCA Records album, we did Capitol, and he's a jazz head at the end of the day. I know everyone knows him from Helmet and things, but he's a huge jazz guy, and I was raised around jazz with my father, and my dad taught David Weckl, and my dad taught some jazz musicians. And I was named Gene from Gene Krupa and Louis from Louis Bellson, these old big band jazz guys, right? So I came from that world and was raised heavily around that as a younger age. So he would come when he produced In the Mouth of the Young, the RCA album for Bullets and Octane, he would laugh, like he'd sit in front of me and I'd play him song ideas, and he would laugh, and I'd kind of be like, I'm thinking he's laughing at me, you know, because I looked up to, you know, his thing. And it turns out that, like, about 10, 15 years later, a couple years ago, I was like, the reason why he was laughing is because he knew I didn't know, but he heard the jazz arrangement and influences of some certain things. Because I don't know musically what this looks like or why notes are what they are. I just play what I look down and make up shit. So I understand now when I told people my influences in earlier interviews, it would be I would tell them what I was told I was doing. Like, here's the influences I'm told are my influences.
Right, okay.
When you're really, I look back and it's like, it's rock and it's punk and it has the edge of pissed off idiot shit. But the musical side definitely came from like more of a jazzy type of influential thing.
Excellent. So what's the next move for Bullets after the UK tour? Where are you heading to after?
Well, like I said, I wrote another album here,
right.
and I went to St. Louis and kind of knocked out most of it, musically and everything, so I'm just going to keep, as long as it's naturally happening. I'm not at a place to chase no more. Not at a place to try to fit in. White boy rock and roll, white boy anything type of music that isn't dance or country or rap doesn't really necessarily have a place to be in a situation for me to chase commercial success anymore. So as long as it makes sense and we're all still enjoying it, which everyone seems to do, we'll just keep doing it. But you know, I got a bunch of solo music and videos and stuff done in a bunch of different ways, and I'm just in a different place now where as long as there's opportunity and people want to hear it, let's go, let's play. But I mean, you hope for the best, of course, you know. So get a new booking agent and getting back out there and tour and just have fun with it, man. I'm old there now.
As long as you're having fun and still loving it.
Yeah.
What more can you ask for?
I think if you ever got into a place where you had to play the major label, record label, do the thing, we need a hit. I think once you kind of had to go through that and get out of it and go live life and figure out your own shit slightly enough to where you don't need it, it doesn't embody who you are. You are not your band, you are not the front guy of that band, that's not who you are as a human being. You kind of can let go and say, well, let's write songs, and if we're stoked, let's go do it, and if there's opportunity, let's go do it, but if not, then I'll find another way.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Gene.
I talk a lot.
One of the most interesting interviews I've ever done.
Yeah, good or bad?
Excellent, thank you very much.
Yeah,
awesome.
No problem.
Thanking you.